Nuclear energy. It's one of the most powerful forces we've harnessed on Earth, with the potential to create almost limitless energy, or devastating destruction. In this video, we're diving into the world of nuclear power and weapons, their history, how they work, and the immense impact they've had on our world. Let's start with nuclear power. At its core, nuclear energy comes from the process of nuclear fission. This is when the nucleus of an atom, typically uranium or plutonium, is split into smaller parts, releasing an enormous amount of energy. This energy is then used to heat water, produce steam, and turn turbines to generate electricity. The energy density of nuclear fuel is astonishing. Just one small uranium pellet, about the size of a fingertip, can produce as much energy as a ton of coal. But with great power comes great risk. Nuclear power plants, while incredibly efficient, come with the potential for catastrophic accidents. One of the most infamous nuclear disasters occurred in 1986 at the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine, which was then part of the Soviet Union. A reactor explosion released massive amounts of radiation into the atmosphere, contaminating large areas of Europe. To this day, the area around Chernobyl remains a radioactive exclusion zone. Then there's the Fukushima disaster in 2011, when a massive earthquake and tsunami triggered the meltdown of 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in Japan. The disaster not only displaced hundreds of thousands of people but also reignited the debate over the safety of nuclear energy. Despite these disasters, nuclear power remains one of the cleanest sources of energy in terms of carbon emissions. Unlike fossil fuels, nuclear power plants don't release harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In fact, many experts believe that nuclear energy could be a key solution in the fight against climate change, providing large-scale, low-carbon electricity. Countries like France generate over 70% of their electricity from nuclear power, while others, like Germany, have been phasing it out due to safety concerns. But the risks don't stop at nuclear energy. There's also the shadow of nuclear weapons. These are by far the most destructive weapons ever created. The power of nuclear weapons comes from the same process as nuclear energy, fission, except in a bomb. This process happens all at once, releasing a massive explosion. The first and only use of nuclear weapons in war occurred in 1945, when the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. The devastation was unprecedented. The explosion in Hiroshima killed an estimated 140,000 people, while the bomb in Nagasaki claimed around 70,000 lives. Many of these deaths were immediate, but thousands more suffered and died later from radiation sickness and long-term effects of the blast. After World War II, the world entered a new era, the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union both raced to build up their nuclear arsenals, resulting in thousands of nuclear warheads being stockpiled. The Cold War brought humanity to the brink of nuclear annihilation several times, most notably during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, when the world stood on the edge of full-scale nuclear war. Fortunately, diplomacy prevailed, but the threat of nuclear weapons has never fully disappeared. Today, 9 countries possess nuclear weapons: the US, Russia, China, the United Kingdom, France, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. Together, they hold around 13,000 nuclear warheads. While the total number of nuclear weapons has decreased since the Cold War, the destructive power of modern nuclear bombs is far greater than those used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In fact, some of today's hydrogen bombs are thousands of times more powerful. The idea of nuclear war is terrifying for many reasons. Not only would the initial explosions kill millions, but the fallout, radioactive dust and debris, could spread across entire continents. This fallout would cause widespread radiation sickness, cancer, and environmental destruction. Then there's the theory of nuclear winter, which suggests that the soot and ash from nuclear explosions could block out the sun, plunging Earth into a years-long winter, destroying crops and leading to global famine. But nuclear technology isn't just about power and destruction. It's also used in medicine, helping to diagnose and treat diseases. Nuclear medicine, which uses small amounts of radioactive material, allows doctors to detect conditions like cancer, heart disease, and other abnormalities inside the body. Radiotherapy, which uses radiation to kill cancer cells, is another life-saving application of nuclear technology. So, where does that leave us with nuclear power and weapons? It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, nuclear energy offers a powerful, low-carbon solution to our growing energy needs, especially in the fight against climate change. On the other hand, nuclear weapons continue to pose one of the greatest threats to human civilization. The fear of a nuclear conflict still looms, and the consequences would be catastrophic on a scale we can barely imagine. Efforts to control the spread of nuclear weapons have been in place for decades. Treaties like the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty aim to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and promote peaceful uses of nuclear energy. And while many countries are working toward disarmament, tensions still exist in places like North Korea, where nuclear weapons are seen as a symbol of power and security. In the end, the future of nuclear power and weapons is up to us. Whether we use it as a force for good or let it lead to our destruction remains to be seen. The potential is there for both, limitless energy or unimaginable destruction. The question is, how will we choose to use it?